All right, y'all, it's finally here. The details, the response from the South Carolina Real Estate Commission detailing how they feel about the wholesaling ban in the state of South Carolina. I'm Andrew, and from Deal Finders Club here, we're based in South Carolina, where we help new and growing investors build their business around flipping and buying rental properties. So this is very, very important to us because wholesaling is what my day job was back in 2018. That's kind of how I stepped away from our 9 to 5 job with the rental properties as our backstop and our active income of wholesaling. Well, you can't do it anymore, and the way we all know it and the way we've all done it, it's not good. The problem is that some people knew that they weren't supposed to be marketing these things, knew that they weren't supposed to be saying things and putting things under contract, um, and they did it anyway. And so now the legislators have stepped in, probably for the best, for keeping people out of trouble. It's a little bit of consumer protection there. I get that. Unfortunately, the sellers are the ones who are going to be hurt, in my opinion, because right now there's way less competition, way less people out there trying to help sellers that actually need this service. They need people to reach out to them. They need the wholesaler, the investor that buys properties that aren't perfect. They need people like that to help them solve their property issues. And unfortunately, they're going to have fewer people out there to help them, which, as we all know, supply and demand. That means that if there's fewer people coming to them, then their ability to maximize the price is going to go down. Unfortunately, that's just where we are. So you all that are wanting to invest or want to do what used to be wholesaling, get into this business with little money out of pocket and still find good deals, what are you going to do? Well, I'm not an attorney, but I do know how to read, so I can show you what this opinion of the wholesaling law is from the South Carolina Real Estate Commission. And honestly, I'm just going to tell you point blank, you can't do it the way that's been taught on the internet. You cannot do the way you've seen it on YouTube. You cannot go put something on a contract today and then put it on Facebook or send an email blast to everybody you know saying, hey, I'd like to sell this contract. Even if you use the word contract, you can't say that. You can't do that anymore. Now, there's a little bit of gray area as to whether that was ever allowed, but here doesn't matter. We're here now. It is clearly defined now. And so you cannot go and market. And if you look here, I can scroll down right now. You cannot market or advertise contracts with property. Okay. So now you're looking at it and saying, well, how can I do this business? Guys, there is still hope for you. Don't let this be the thing that says, okay, no, real estate's not for me. No, there's still opportunity. And in fact, for you all that are ready to take action and get into this business, there's probably more opportunity. So what I want you to do is, yes, understand this, and I'll go through this in a second, but don't let this be the door that shuts you out. Let this be the door that gets you in. All right. Do it the right way. Do it for the long haul. Build a good business. And step number one for you all is going to be get connected. Get connected to your local groups. We have a local meetup that meets literally just about every week. We have our big meetup the first Tuesday of every month, and then we do things throughout the month. So get connected to your local investor club. Find them. If you aren't local here, you can find us online. Go to dealfindersclub.com, go to our Facebook page, and you can get virtually connected. All right. So that's where you're going to start no matter what. So let's talk about this law. What does this mean? What are they saying? Ultimately, let me just tell you what wholesaling has been, so that then we can talk about what it is. Wholesaling has been where what's been taught in the way we started was you would go find a distressed property or distressed seller, someone that was willing to take a little bit of a discount on their property for the services that you provide, whether that's speed, convenience, cash, running around town, collecting signatures, whatever the service you were able to give to them, they would trade a little bit of their equity for that. Okay, so you would get the property at a discount. Now, what makes this, that's just great. That's a wonderful thing to know how to do, and that's what Deal Finders is all about. But the next step is where it became wholesaling, where that contract, you would get a property under contract, and then you would seek to sell or assign your rights to that contract to another buyer, an end buyer, another investor, someone else who would actually perform and own the property. They would actually close on it. And in that transaction, going between you and that end buyer, you would be looking for income, some sort of payment, some sort of fee. Assignment fee is what it's typically called. All right. So that right there is what has been eliminated and very clearly defined as not allowed in South Carolina. And the thing with this law in South Carolina is it's really the best one throughout the country, as far as being well written, clearly targeting the process and making it go away because it was really well written. It clearly defines what they want to go after and then leaves everything else alone. So uh, kudos to those those elite lawmakers out there. So anyway, so that process of trying to find an end buyer is not possible anymore because even no matter how you try to say it, like, oh, I'm not marketing a property, I'm marketing a contract or I'm assigning a contract. Yes, that you might use those words, but they put it in here where it says um, people don't just buy contracts without knowing what's in the contract. Okay, and so just telling them about the beds and the baths is going to make it illegal. Just telling them about what's in the contract. So it's right here. I'm trying to find it in my. So if you're listening to this, I've got it on my screen here. So they tell you what could be allowed, where you're assigning your contractual interest to like your spouse or a friend or whatever, or to your corporate entity. And then it says right in here, it's not wholesaling. There's no marketing, there's no advertising, there's no expectation of compensation. That's a big piece. But what would be wholesaling is you market, advertise that property, and use the facts of the property, like the address, and assigns the contract to the third party with the expectation of compensation. That's considered wholesaling. So the involvement of an assignment does not make it wholesaling. You can assign things to people, partners, friends, corporate entities, but it's this expectation of compensation and then the marketing of how in the world did you get there? Did you know the person that's the end buyer? Is it your entity? Is it a friend's entity? Is it your spouse? Is it your mom, cousin, some sort of family relationship? All right. So those are the things that they're looking for. Okay. So it actually goes in, and this is where this response and this detail of explanation is very helpful for everybody out there. And so I want to make sure you had it. And I'll make sure somehow put the link to this document that they put out available for you. So you can't, the items that they specifically put in here, of course it says is not limited to a picture of the property, the house, the land, a survey, description of the property, including like beds and baths, the year, condition, tax map, all these things, rental income, anything that would just hint that there's a property under this contract is now considered illegal. So what can you do, y'all? This is where it is the most important time to get connected with other investors. If you were hoping and you're planning to go be a deal finder, go out there and find good deals. It used to be called bird dogging. You just go find people or deals and you connect them, right? You can still do that if you already are working together. So now is the time to get connected with other investors, get connected and partner up. One of you might be really good at finding the deals. Go be that finder, go be the deal finder. Look in your current network and in your community right now. There's probably a deal right beside you, right near you right now. Go find that and bring the people together, and y'all do it together. Partner up, bring it to us. We have partners, we have buyers. We can put a deal together, but you can't go out there on your own and just start slinging these contracts all over the internet. You can't just start putting emails out, email blast, and Facebook Marketplace. No, there's real consequences. There's real penalties to this, guys, and somebody will be made an example of. So I'll leave this out here for you all. Don't let it be the door that shuts you out. let this be the window that gets you in, where you will actually dive in and learn more. All right, learn the business. Okay, we have classes and courses all available. All of our events are free, so come get connected and learn. But know that this, now that you know this is here, it's not an excuse to quit. It's an excuse to dive in and figure out what works for you. Find your niche, find your way to get into real estate. Uh, this is not something that should stop you. This should tell you that it's gonna help you by doing it right. Okay, so don't be those guys that are out there saying, "Oh, forget it, I'm not working in South Carolina anymore." Come on, let's do this together. Come see us at Deal Finders Club. Again, we meet just about every week. Find me on Facebook, shoot me a message, go to our Facebook group. Love to see you guys. Love to help you out. And if you've got it, if you already are working on these deals, talk to your lawyer, talk to somebody that can help you get through it. More power to you. If you know those deal finders out there, let's get these deals. Let's close on some deals, okay? If you've been doing this for a while, you should be ready to close on them. All right, so deal finders, go out there and find your next deal and figure out how you're going to own it. Let's put it together, okay? So I hope this wasn't too long. I hope I didn't bore you with this, but I did want to make sure I put it out there for you. You can scroll through and read it yourself. Just know that you can't put a contract together and try to sell it out there in the open market. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.